Hi dear students, the last class we discussed the Dirac delta function, and in connecting with today we discuss the divergence of r vector r cap by r square. That is, today we will see what is the result of the divergence of vector r by unity vector r by r square. Fine, and here we consider this vector unity vector r cap by r square as a vector function. That is, consider the vector r cap by r square, and also this vector v has a large positive divergence. That is, if this is a vector v diverging out from a given point, then this has a large positive divergence. We will see what is the divergence of this vector function v. Okay, in spherical polar coordinate system, we can represent the del dot v that is, the del dot v can be written as 1 by r square dou by dou r square vr plus 1 by r sin theta dou by dou theta sin theta v theta plus 1 by r sin theta dou by dou phi, this is theta, v phi. Okay, if we compare our vector function, that is, this vector function has only the radial component. This vector function does not have sin theta or theta component or phi component. Therefore, these two terms will be 0 in the present case. Therefore, I can write del dot v is equal to 1 by r square dou by dou r square. The vr component is nothing but vr, that is nothing but 1 by r square, that is into 1 by r square. See, these r square and r square get cancelled, then this will be 1 by r square dou by dou r into 1, dou by dou r of 1. Dou by derivative of a constant is always 0. Therefore, this is equal to 0 because this term is 0. Therefore, the result I obtained is this one. Del dot v is equal to 0. Divergence of this vector function is 0. But this vector function has a positive divergence. Okay. Then we apply Gauss's divergence theorem to the LHS of this equation. Let me put this is equation 1. Let me check. We apply the Gauss's divergence theorem. We will solve this problem where this why this vector function has no zero divergence. That is, this is a LHS of the equation 1, del dot v. Apply Gauss's divergence theorem. Volume integral del dot v d tau is equal to Gauss's divergence theorem converts the volume integral to surface integral. This is equal to v dA. Let me put this is equation number 2. Now we have already seen that the del dot V is equal to 0. That is from equation 1. That is, this is equation 1. Equation 1 says this is equal to 0. Therefore, LHS of this equation 2, that is 0, and RHS, that is, instead of V substitute here R cap by R square dot dA. Or I can write this as a surface integral R cap by R square dA is equal to 0. This is equation 3. Okay. Now let me check whether this equation is correct or not. What I will do is, if this equation is correct, then if I take the LHS of this equation and evaluate, then if I get it, this one is 0, then I will say 0 is equal to 0, this equation is exactly correct. Okay. Now let me check whether the LHS of this equation is correct or not, whether it is giving a value 0 or not. That is, if I take the equation 3 and apply this instead of dA, what I will apply is I will write dA in terms of the spherical polar coordinates. That is, we know dA is equal to R square sine theta d theta d phi r cap, that is in spherical polar coordinate system, that is surface integral R cap by R square, instead of dA I can substitute R square sine theta d theta d phi r cap. That is, this is nothing but equation we are writing equation 3, right hand side is 0. Here R square will be cancelled, R dot R cap R dot R is equal to 1. The main thing is surface integral sine theta d theta d phi, RHS of that equation is 0. Then this will be integrating this sine theta d theta first, that is 0 to pi sine theta d theta into 0 to 2 pi d phi is equal to 0. That is minus cos theta 0 to pi into phi limit to 0 to 2 pi equal to 0, or that is, this will be 2 into, this will be 2 pi, that is 0, this is 4 pi is equal to 0. See, what we obtained is, when we evaluated this LHS of this equation 4, this LHS, instead of giving the value of 0, that has given a value 4 pi. This is the value of the LHS. Then where is the problem? Now we are sure that the LHS of this equation, equation 3, and from where this equation is coming, that is from this equation 2. That is a LHS of this equation, that is given a value 4 pi. Then the right hand side of this equation should also be 4 pi. That is not 0 as given in equation 3. Therefore, to get the RHS is also a value of 4 pi, we have to modify this equation using the delta function. If the RHS is 0, which means that this vector function, that is this vector function, does not have any divergence, but this vector function has a divergence, positive divergence, that is sure, that it should not be 0. Therefore this term in the equation 2, that is this RHS, should not be 0, but it should be the value 4 pi. This also should be 4 pi. Okay, to get in the value 4 pi, what do we have to do? We have to modify this equation, or we have to rewrite this equation using some another form, or here we will use the Dirac delta function. Fine. Therefore, let us say the result that we obtained here is not exactly correct, because RHS is 0 already we know, but LHS is 4 pi. That is contradictory. The RHS should also be 4 pi. Therefore, let us say this is a clear mathematical paradox. A mathematical paradox. Okay, this mathematical paradox can be overcome only by, that is a better word, overcome only by applying Dirac's delta function. Before applying to the Dirac delta function, we have to see where our vector function has maximum value or minimum value. Therefore, let us check the given function is, that is vector v is equal to r cap by r square, and we have to see where this function has maximum or minimum value. That is when r is equal to 0. This r is equal to 0. The vector function v have a value r cap by 0. And the value that is nothing but infinite. Then if I take the divergence when r is equal to 0, if I take the divergence of this quantity, that is divergence of infinity is undetermined. Okay, that is this function has a non-zero divergence. That is, here the divergence is not a zero value. There is a non-zero divergence only when r is equal to 0. When r is equal to 0, this vector function v has a non-zero divergence. For all other points except r is equal to 0, the divergence is minimum, or the divergence is 0. The divergence is 0. So the above function has non-zero divergence only when r is equal to 0. For all other points, all other positions, the divergence is 0. Mathematically, we can represent del dot v is not equal to 0 when r equal to 0, or del dot v equal to 0 when all other point of r, all other position of r, that is when r not equal to 0. ഇത് ഏതുപോലെ ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ Dirac delta function we have defined delta x is equal to 0 when x is not equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, this has a non-zero value. This infinity value, similar fashion. Okay, this we have already. This is a case of Dirac delta function. If you go back to the previous equations, now we have to rewrite this equation, this equation 2, using the Dirac delta function. That is how we can rewrite this Dirac delta function. That is, just now we have seen where this vector function has the maximum or minimum value. Then that is, we can write the volume integral del dot v. Instead of v, we can substitute r by r square d tau. The right hand side, to get a non-zero value, we have to introduce Dirac delta function. It is 4 pi into delta cube r d tau. Here I can take the 4 pi outside. The volume integral del dot r by r square d tau is equal to 4 pi delta cube r d tau. Let me put this is a equation number 3. This is equation number 4. Fine. Now it is clear that the divergence of our vector function, that is not a zero value, that should be 4 pi if you write this equation like this one. Now you see, when we will get this is a 4 pi, then when we will get the right hand side 4 pi, this I will get when this is equal to 1. At what condition this is equal to 1? When r is equal to 0, and the right hand side will be that is, this delta cube function will be 0 when r is not equal to 0. That is the next case that we are going to write. That is, you can write volume integral delta cube r d tau is equal to 1 when r is equal to 0, and volume integral delta cube r d tau is equal to 0 when r is not equal to 0. It is clear that the equation 4 is valid only for any volume. Oh, sorry, here this should be v. For any volume contained by closed surface, size of the volume is not a matter. That is, it is clear that equation 4 is valid only for any volume contained by closed surface. The size of the volume is not a matter. The volume should be the closed one. And therefore, what is our benefit? Since both this equation contains deta volume integral d tau, here also volume integral d tau, this volume can be rewritten. This equation 4 can be rewritten by removing the integrals. If I remove the integral from these equations, then I can write del dot r cap by r square is equal to del cube r. That is our final result. So del dot r cap by, that is divergence of r cap by r square is 4 pi delta cube r, because here we have 4 pi also. This divergence of r cap by r square is equal to 4 pi into this delta cube r. These volume integrals can be cancelled. There is a very important final result. Divergence of r cap by r square is not 0. It is 4 pi delta cube r. This will be 0 when the delta function this has the 0 value. That is, at r not equal to 0, this delta function is 0. When r equal to 0, the delta function has its maximum value. Okay, this is our conclusion. Thank you very much for watching this video.